Gosford's built on hills and some flat areas. Just to get an idea, you can sort of see the steepness of Georgiana Terrace, and as it goes down and crosses Henry Parry Drive, they actually sort of break Georgiana Terrace with some steps, and then it continues on down, and beyond we can see Gosford Stadium and towards West Gosford. From 1876 to 1954, this classic sandstone building was known as Gosford School on the Hill, and yep, still being preserved today as a heritage listed building here on Georgiana Terrace. The education slant of this area is still evident, because next door we have the TAFE. And a further back look at the Gosford School on the Hill. We're on the corner of Georgiana and Henry Parry Drive. Now we're just about to cross Henry Parry and go down the steps to the bottom part of Georgiana Terrace. And more historic buildings in Gosford. Kind of annoying when they tack on these cheap little modern bits and pieces to it. It's a bit of a shame, but they spent a lot of time doing up the sandstone wall again, so a bit strange. And yes, this building was obviously something in its heyday, but yeah, it doesn't look much more than a haunted house at the moment. It's derelict. It's been that way for years. Yeah, shame really. Probably was nice in its time. Yeah, pretty derelict. Been that way for years. It's been boarded up several times, but obviously people still come and go from here. It's actually through to the Leagues Club at the other side. This is an interesting Art Deco. It almost looks like it was a picture theatre, but I'm not quite sure. There's no signs around, but yeah. And popular restaurant next door. And just going down towards the police station at the end. One of the newer buildings that's completed in the last couple of years. Went up fairly recently. So yeah, things are starting to come back to Gosford a bit. And there's all sort of modern additions here. And there's Gosford Council buildings, well, for the Central Coast really, New South Wales Central Coast. Bear the dubious distinction of having gone bankrupt, so obviously doing really well. And some more restorations and redevelopment going on here. This is the main street, Man Street, named after a certain Captain Man who was involved in the area back in the 1800s. Okay, probably one of the main crossroads here in downtown Gosford, Man Street and Donaldson Street. There was the old pub here, which was demolished a few years ago now. Whether anybody's developing this or not, I have no clue. But it'll be another tall structure, which is unfortunately changing the skyline. Kibble Park, in the centre of Gosford. And at the end here we basically have the original shopping centre. I'm not quite sure when it started and ended, but basically the main centre is now Imperial Plaza, which is here. So and new replaces the old, as everywhere I guess. So yeah, commemorate the old railway hotel. Basically we've got a new eatery, bars, restaurants, all that kind of stuff going on. So yeah. And the Hotel Gosford, been recently refurbished. Apparently it's quite a spot now. Was in there recently, not too bad. And Gosford railway station, yeah, it's on the line that basically travels from Sydney to Newcastle, and yeah, obviously one of the main stations here. And just inside Gosford station, lines north to Newcastle and Gosford Hospital. And of course, no Australian centre would be complete without its local club. Here we have the Central Coast Leagues Club, where we can obviously come and have some gossy good times. That's the back of that haunted looking building we looked at before. Yeah, this waterside park is fairly new. In fact, it's still a work in progress basically. This used to be just an open grass area, and every summer there would be a circus tent here for the holidays. Gosford Stadium over there, and Brian McGowan Bridge, so that's part of the Central Coast Highway heading towards Sydney, and through there you can basically see Brisbane Water a little bit, and some various other play equipment and stuff. There is another huge complex going up here in front of this building, which is in itself new, the waterfront apartments, and yeah, it's going to be pretty big. There's going to be a lot of people here. And another look, Gosford Stadium, Brian McGowan Bridge. Pan around, we can see Brisbane Water more clearly. The main railway there running to Newcastle, between Newcastle and Sydney, and points north, and down into Brisbane Water looking south towards Sydney. And more of the kids play area, trying to create a connection between the water and the city basically. Right in the city centre, if you like, but we've got this kind of a marina here, which seems to be where boats go to die. Sounds about right. This one takes the prize for me though, I think. Just looking from this harbour arm back down towards the south, towards over Brisbane Water. You can see the hills down the middle there. One of them's Lion Island, and the other one will be something like Bilgola Heights or something in northern extremes of Sydney. So yeah, we're pretty close, but far enough. And the work of La Nina, and I suppose you could say neglect, but anyway, as I said, seems to be where boats come to die, or tomorrow, whenever. There's the XPT going 2 points north, perhaps Brisbane, Murwillumbah, somewhere in northern New South Wales. or possibly even southern Queensland. So it's yeah, everything passes through here basically, well, except for road traffic, which is over the hills there on the M1 freeway. Gosford Sailing Club, home of the actuals. Attached marina. Well, down by the waterfront at Gosford, here on Brisbane Water, it's not such a bad place. I've been here for about 6 years now, I guess, moving up from Sydney. But yeah, things are changing. As usual, you know, the population's moving its way up here. People trying to escape the expense of living in Sydney, and obviously for a better lifestyle up here. So yeah, I guess a lot of people here think, well, let's move north to escape that, but eventually you're going to meet up with the Brisbane crowd coming the other way, so I don't think you can escape it. But a great place. And when you're by the sea, how else do you end the day, hey?